Hello, everybody! It is Thursday! Hey, Jennifer, how are ya? Russ! Good to have you with us this Thursday evening. Hey, Kitty! How's things in Illinois and Florida tonight, guys? Ken is with us. Good to have you, Ken. Great to have everybody here. I gotta move that down. I don't like that up that high. It makes me nervous. Bailey! Adele and Dazzle! Deanne! Good to see you, Deanne. How are we all doing this Thursday evening? Hey, Julie Jenkowitz. Tell me what we're grateful for this Thursday evening. Hey, Pat in the Peanut Gallery. Warm and humid. Yeah, here too, but it's supposed to be nice starting tomorrow for the weekend. Cooled off and breathable. Hey, Bailey. Suki. Heidi. In Iowa. Joanne. Great to have you all here this evening. What are we grateful for this Thursday evening? It is Thursday. Hey, Sarah. Good to have you all with us. Great to have everybody here at more 8 than ish. More 8 than ish tonight. I feel tilted here tonight. Oh, great sales. You know, a good attorney, Julie, is one of those things you need in housing. So I'm okay with that. It's better to be patient and make sure everything is correct than to rush. Grateful for your AC working. You know, we have an employee, Edwin, that works at that has joined us from Big Lots. And she's finishing her last 2 weeks there and been training with us. And they don't have AC in the whole store. And we're just like, what do you mean? Oh, it broke. Yard mode between rainstorms. I hear you there, Kitty. Although I have Bill do it. And there were some good ones. I mean, nothing by the house, but in between the store and the house, we had some huge wind and rain on the way home tonight. Huge. Suki'd probably have a quiet evening is probably what you'd have. That's what you would have. Nice, Russ. Cheers to you, Russ. Isn't the happy customer thing great, Nancy? I love happy customers, and we've had a lot of them. And people that have been kept up at night because they worried about us making it and getting through. Yay, Sarah, that's so exciting. Hey, Asheville Angie. Well, that is all good stuff, people. I like this good stuff. I like good news. I like good news and good spirits. Hey, Eric Abrams is watching. Caught up on your YouTubes, Eric, today. I was behind. Liked you in that suit. Looking sharp there in the suit video. Just saying. Let's see what we got here. All right, we start every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. That is how we kick off this program every night. Every night is how we do it. Tonight, for those of you following along with your own copy of the Good Morning, Good Night book, we are on page 132. 132. I'm actually glad, Eric, you don't suit it too often. You know, you were at court. Very good. That is an important place to wear a suit. I will tell you that. And only answer the questions that you are asked. Our good morning tonight is good morning. Sidekick your fears. Front kick your distractions. Boom! You go up a belt. That is our good morning tonight. A little karate. Hey, Kelly. Back when Rebecca was taking karate when she was a youngin', she tried to teach me moves, and I'm not very coordinated. You may have noticed that and everything. And she tried to have me do a kick and everything, and I hit the dog, and I knocked out stuff off the counter and everything else. It was a mess. That was my limited karate career. Hey, Rick. Good to have you with us. Let's see. What do we got going on here tonight? Words may inspire, but only actions create change. There is a quote for you from our friend Simon Sinek. Hey, Angela, great to have you with us. So tonight, I wanted to spend a little time on flipping the calendar. We all just flipped. If you haven't done it, go to your wall. You may have to flip more than one page because you don't know what day it is, what week, what month it is. But we are at halftime, people. Halftime. We are halfway through this year. Okay? And this year has kicked us in the cahooties. Well, cahooties is probably the wrong word. It's kicked us someplace. Hey, Mary Ann, how are you? It has kicked us and stomped on us this year, and at halftime we're not looking so hot. I gotta, you know. Happy New Year! See, Edwin's already on Happy New Year. The rest of us are on halftime. I like that even better, Edwin. I like that. Flip the calendar on a new year. I like you nonprofits that switch in the middle of the year. But this is halftime in the year. Yes, time for some Mad Dog 2020. That is what I am talking about, Eric. This is the time not to look at how we've been beaten down these last several months, how we're coming into this beat up and knocked down, but to how we will rise, okay? We're shopping here. That's exactly how we are doing it. Left-facing sectional. I don't have a gray one. This is how we rise, okay? The greatest teams, the greatest opportunities, okay, come from those that are behind, okay? The come from behind victories, okay? The rising from the agony of defeat, okay? When the stadium empties out at halftime because the home team is doing so poorly. Okay, that is where we are in this calendar year. That is where we are. And you can let that be your story. One of the things, I mean, I've talked about this many times. I am always very cognizant and very straightforward and honest with all the things that we have been through as a company, and we've been through a lot. Remember that long list, that slide that I shared with everybody of everything from the bomb squad to the fire department to the copper out of our HVAC units to thefts. I mean, we had so many things. I mean, attempted murder made the list. All these things, okay? They are a footnote in our story. An absolute positive footnote. They all happened. They're all true stories, okay? I am not I am not creative enough to make any of this stuff up. Okay? And they would have been fine if that defined us. You had to have the bomb squad out, the robots, the whole suited up guy. You had the fire department, you had the HVAC, the copper gone from your HVAC units, and 30 grand in the middle of July, the end of June. Okay? All of that really happened. And a pandemic really happened. We share all of this. We share a pandemic, okay? You may not have some of the other things. And Leanne's so new to it, she doesn't have any of it. Hey, Leanne, great to have you here tonight. But those are all footnotes in our story. And this time, okay, this next, as we flip the calendar to July, this becomes 2020 2.0. Not my original idea, but something I have expounded on. Okay? 2020 2.0. This is the redo. This is where you get to say, no, that's not the way 2020 is going to end for me. 2020 is not going to do me in. The first half of the year's sales, the first half of everything that happened in this calendar year is not what I am writing for. I'm not trying. I love Leanne. I'm not trying to scare her off, Kelly. I really very much, I've known about this whole Leanne thing long, back when it was a twinkle in Bonnie's eye. They talk about it as a twinkle in Bonnie's eye. I knew about it back then. Okay? And I am thrilled to see it come to fruition for Leanne. But this is not 2020's story. You are on 2020 2.0. 2.0, okay? And with the clearer focus that 2020 brings us, okay? 2020 vision brings us clearer focus. It allows us to focus in on what's important. It allows us to focus on what is going to grow our business out of this. How are we going to grow our way out of this? How are we going to throw that pass down the field? What are the things that we're going to do here in July? Oh, I love you, Leanne. I love you. Oh. Hey, Suzanne. We are going to go the distance. What are the changes you're going to implement? How are you going to carry what you've started to the finish line? Okay? How are we going to make this your best year? What looks like it's going to be your worst? How are we going to make it so you still have to pay taxes at the end of this year because your sales were so good? How are you going to keep that website? And MJ's with us tonight. Suzanne and MJ. Great to have you with us, guys. How are we going to make that? Okay? Well, are you going to keep your website going or are you going to neglect it? It's just like the old airplane movies. I wasn't old enough to watch them back then, Julie. Yes, it depends not only on your team, it depends on your attitude, Suki. Okay? Attitude, the mind is self-fulfilling. The mind is self-fulfilling. Do you see yourself at the end of the year, okay, better than you are now? Hey, Nebraska Angie, great to see you. There's a positive person. Okay? Exactly. Wouldn't that be amazing if we had to pay taxes this year? I mean, wouldn't it be amazing? And it's possible. Okay? What are you doing for intake? Okay? It's all about the inventory. I go back to my career in consulting. Okay? When I first got paid to consult and I was in a class and they were teaching me stuff and everything else, and they were like, you want to know the secret? And, yeah, I want to know the secret. Shh. I can't tell anybody else. And they had me, you better get out your pad for this. I got out my legal pad, and I had my pad out and everything else. And they had me draw a circle on the pad and being really quiet. And I don't do really quiet well. You may have noticed. It's my mother's fault. Okay, and they had me in the circle, write inventory. And they said, that's the secret. It's all about the inventory. Okay? And that is as true back then as it is today. You got to have the inventory. You can't sell what you don't have. Although Marianne's trying to figure out how to sell a gray sectional that she doesn't have to Julie, because Julie's got a credit card out, okay, tonight on the show, okay, and Marianne's trying to figure out, okay, gray sectional, do we have any spray paint? What do we got here? Okay, but in general, you can't sell what you don't have. You can't sell what you don't accept. You can't sell if you are your own speed bump in the inventory process. You also can't do that if your process, okay, is so backed up. If you don't have the resources, like we're getting our team back together here, okay? We've been big on rebuilding our team and getting open. You don't need it today. See, Marianne, Julie's giving you her credit card. I think it is such a gorgeous sectional. I think it is a $1,200 sectional. That gives Zach time to go down to Ashley and buy one for $400. Load it in a car, rent a truck. I mean, that is like a $400 profit. Actually, I think what Julie really wants is the firemen delivery people that Marianne uses. She wants a hunka burning fireman. I don't know. I'm just going off the rails here. I mean, Marianne, your husband saw one on his UPS route, loaded in the back of the brown truck, you know? But it is about the inventory. So what speed bumps have you got in your way? Do you have enough inventory to do the sales you need to do? Okay? Do you have that? Okay? Because inventory is where it's at. You know, I'm going to talk about that in a second, Leanne. Good question. Okay. But what are you doing, okay, to have enough inventory to do your sales? Okay. It is the most common problem when I come into your store. Okay. So when you invite me into your store and say, "Help me, Neil," okay. When I come into your store, it is the most common problem is not having enough inventory to do your sales. Okay, so now while everybody is trying to get rid of stuff, what brakes are you putting on things? What express lanes are you creating for the stuff you really want? I mean, do you have, Julie. Julie has a Louis Vuitton express lane. You got Louis Vuitton, you come right on in, okay? You know, that is a key to that. That is correct. 22.0 be like, show me the money. Show me the money! I said, show me the money. That's what I said, Eric. But it is about the inventory and removing those speed bumps so that you can have the most successful second half. Okay, if you have it, if you display it, if you show it on all your channels. Okay, if you put it out there on your website that you spent all this time creating when you had all this time, what system are you putting in place? Did you hire a high school kid? Okay, they've given up on school now. What are you doing to employ that? I mean, we're adding workstations in our warehouse that you guys thought had no room in it. Okay, when you were here last November. Okay, you know, we just looked at it today. It said, okay, well, we can add another workstation over here. What are you doing to do that? You know, I'll have to. Absolutely, they can bypass the line. Show it equals sell it. That's exactly right. But you have to use these channels and these communication mediums that you created. Okay, you spent all this time creating these websites. and who, so many of you have dropped off since reopening in the items that you add to your website. We've actually accelerated, okay, the items that we're adding to our website in the time since reopening. That doesn't make it easy, okay? That requires a process, okay? Because the process that worked when you were closed and you had more time doesn't work now that you're open. Okay? So to have the most successful 2020 2.0, you got to have the inventory. It's all about the inventory. Okay? It is if you have it, they will come. It's Field of Dreams. But you have to have it, and you have to talk about it, and you have to promote it. Okay? This isn't the days of just having an open sign on and everything working isn't what 2020 2.0 is all about. Exactly, Jennifer. Right, because these times call for having more cheaper things. I mean, we had somebody buy the other night. Okay, what makes you? The other night at 1:51 a.m. 1:51 a.m. someone bought a $2.99 pair of socks. Okay, $2.99 pair of socks, and paid $6.99 to ship it. Okay, that is correct. The things don't sell in the back room. You have to put it out. Okay, and they're happy about it. So was that person at 1:51 a.m., okay, high? Were they drunk? Were they just had in bed with cold feet? I don't know. I didn't ask them. But we shipped those socks. Okay? The data junkie in me loves the story behind the middle of the night purchases, because you all know I'm not a shopper, but I'm a data junkie. I love data. Okay? And to see what you, predominantly women, decide to buy in the middle of the night is always interesting. Okay? I just say. They're all ready. I mean, not only because we have people ready, Eric, we start summer again. So we start fall and winter, straight fall and winter, because we don't want them to define what is fall and what is winter. We'll sort it out on June 1st every year. We start summer again on December 1st. They're ready for it, and they're more ready this year. We had to reduce our daily limit just a little bit just because of staffing, but we'll ramp that back up. People are coming in multiple times. I don't have a problem with it, because ultimately they're counting on you. They're betting on you. That is what they're betting. They know you can sell it. They know you can turn it into money. Last night, yesterday, I caught an interview where they were doing at ThreadUp. Okay, it was primarily recorded prior to the shutdown. Actually, just a couple days before everything was shut down. We used to do that, Eric, and then we changed it. We moved it up a month, both in the for the different seasons. We moved it up a month because of the volume we were getting, and so because of the backlog, we moved it up a month. So ThreadUp, okay, and this goes to Leanne's question of all seasons all the time. And this isn't to get into antitrust issues, talking about what you pay or what you don't pay for things, okay? I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of antitrust. But ThreadUp pays from 5% to 80%, okay? And that doesn't include their fees and other things. So 5% to 80%. And a whole lot more of it's at the 5% side, okay? Because ThreadUp is the one online reseller that will make money, okay? That knows there are costs, that is determined to be profitable and not just eat up venture capital. There's a lot to learn from that. They're doing all seasons all the time. We aren't set up for that, mainly because of the extremes of our seasons of warm and cold up in the north, and space. I mean, we handle a lot. Huge volumes of everyday clothing. huge, huge, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of pieces. And it's just crazy when you walk through our warehouse and see what we have stacked to the rafters. And we're trying to lower those stack. We're really investing in that team to get even more to the sales floor, because that is how we are going. Right, you have your warehouse for eBay, Jennifer, and you also have a more, even your cold isn't that cold, relatively speaking, certainly by a northerner standard. But, I'll take your winters any day. I mean, it was funny when I was there, and whenever I was there, when was I with you, Jennifer? February, and you had a cold snap, and, Brad had to put on pants that day. I mean, I felt for him. Even at the hotel that day, they were all bundled up. I came down in the hotel lobby, and everybody was bundled up, and I went outside, I'm like, this is great! Rolled down the windows in the car. Right, Suki. I mean, they pay squat, okay? But that's how they're profitable, okay? And people still send them things, okay? People still send thread up things, okay? And there's a lot to learn from that. Part of, as you've seen in this nightly show, okay, part of the things we've discussed here, and I'm much more direct in my topic tonight than covering the news, but the reason I follow the big guys, okay, the reason I follow the big guys is because there are lessons to be learned from them, okay? I have a really great mind of how I scale ideas down to my level, okay, from what the big guys are doing. That's how I first got our processing center, is by watching what the big guys do, okay? And then I can also scale up an idea that I get from somebody smaller than me. And that's why I follow all of this. Yes, I've heard your stories about your Minnesota winters, Jennifer, but I think you're a long time from Minnesota. I'm just saying. I think you've acclimated to the South quite well. And I'm more jealous than anything else. I'd like to become a snowbird, I think. Right, Kitty, and you adjust what you pay for all seasons. So when you can buy, winter in the summer for a nickel, okay, you buy it. And when you can buy great summer stuff in the dead of winter and pay nothing for it, you buy it. Hey, Little Missy, I miss Little Missy. South Florida, yes. I can learn. I'm gonna have to be like Melissa and get a place eventually. Somewhere south. Who knows? But I don't want to get off the topic of the inventory, because it's so important. And it's so important to be looking at how much inventory you have to make sure you can do the sales you want to do. It's very forward looking, okay? They talk about the stock market, okay, and the stock market's up and it's all this, okay? Well, the stock market is a leading indicator of the economy in general. Right, 3 items a minute on a mannequin, okay? So my 6 to 10 items a minute, not on a mannequin, is pretty reasonable. It's absolutely, and they're timed. They're timed on it. Absolutely. This is important stuff. These are lessons, okay? 3 items a minute on a mannequin, okay? And you guys can't do 1 item a minute on a mannequin, okay? And I don't mean that to be critical. I mean that to show what the difference in profitability is, okay? The difference in how you make money on that same item. And how important it is to do so much so fast, okay? Okay, and their goal, one of ThreadUp's goals, okay, is you order 3 items out of the 2 million that are on their website. You order 3 items out of 2 million on their website. Their goal is down being put in a box in 60 seconds. 60 seconds. 3 items out of 2 million in a box in 60 seconds, people. Okay? This is the kind of efficiency, okay? It's not more people, okay? It's not all about more people. It's about scaling your processes. But it starts with the inventory, okay? And it starts with using all of your sales channels. Your sales channels are so important. I am so proud of so many of you have invested, never had a website before, never liked technology before. So many of you have reached out to the affiliate members of NARTS, okay, gotten your stores online, created these gorgeous websites, paid money to make this happen, done payment plans. I mean, the affiliates have jumped through hurdles to make things happen for our members. And I am thrilled to know all of them. I mean, it is a true honor to work with this great group of professionals. Okay, but you invested in that and you're already neglecting it now that you're open because you don't have time. You have to scale your processes. It's all about the inventory. It's about showing it in different ways. I mean, I was thrilled the other night we got an order. It was like $160 of just kids clothing. That's a lot of cheap kids clothing, everyday kids clothing. Not our stuff is cheap, but value-oriented kids clothing. Okay, we're not high-end kids clothing. So that's a lot of kids clothing in that order. And they were able to find it on our website, order it, and come pick it up. So, and we were able to pull it all together very quickly for them when my team went to pull it off the floor. So, you know, that sale is just as important as the $2.99 socks. And I forget what somebody ordered tonight with the $7.98 or something. An order came through for just before I went on. You know, these are important things, but it's all starting with the inventory. That is a key part of 2020 2.0, the inventory. So what your homework is for this weekend. So this is your homework, okay? Because I know some of you won't tune in tonight. Some of you won't tune in Saturday night. And Sunday night, Self-Care Sunday night. Although I do need a firecracker of a recipe for Self-Care Sunday, so I'm telling all my cooks out there tonight to email me, Neil, N-E-I-L, at ECIstores.com. N-E-I-L at ECIstores.com is where you email me your Self-Care Sunday recipe. I need a new recipe for Self-Care Sunday to keep our baking going on. I did not make the strawberry pie last week, Julie. But we did make the cookie pretzel bites, and those were really good. And then Rebecca and Zeke ate the rest of them. It's about both, Suki. And I will tell you that more times than not, okay, either the inventory is part of the problem, okay, because I do this, I've done this for way too long with way too many types of businesses. I was a consultant long before resale. Okay, it is the inventory, or it is the inventory and how it's priced. It's the inventory in what you paid for it. Okay, you being buy outright. Okay, it's you being married to the inventory. Okay, and not your spouse. Okay, I will tell you that I am married to Cassandra, not my inventory, not my stores. Okay. That's not what matters, but I need to have the right stuff. Okay, the right quantity. So your goal for this weekend. So here is your homework. Are you ready for your homework? Do you have your pad ready? Is your pad ready, and are you ready for some homework? Okay, you're going to go in your systems or in your journal or wherever you have it, okay? And you're going to first tell me, you're going to first figure out what you want to have for sales, okay? What your goal is in a given month. And let's look at the next 3 months, July, August, September, okay? Okay, the third quarter of the year, the third quarter of this game, 2020 2.0. This is the beginning of the comeback, okay? And the comeback is always better than the setback, okay? So you're going to go in your system. So you're going to figure out what you want for sales in July, August, and September. That is your first part of your project. That is step 1. Figure that out. Sales, July, August, September. Okay? Then, you're going to go tell me then you're going to figure out what you have on hand in current inventory, so what the value is of your current inventory and how many units. And if you can do that as of July 1st in your software, great. If you can't, just do it as of the day you run it. We're close enough to the 1st of July or the 30th of June to be able to do that. So that is your homework, okay? And email me those numbers. Neil, Neil at ECIstores.com. Neil at ECIstores.com. And, you know, if that is your homework, okay? And we'll talk about your numbers. I'll go back and forth. I'm not going to sit here and talk about anybody's numbers. We'll deal with abstract numbers here on the show, okay? But that is your homework, okay? This is where it's going to get us not only set up in the third quarter, but it's going to help us crush it, okay, in the rest of the year. It's going to help make the comeback so much better than the setback. We are going to the other side. We are planning our way there. We are going to go, okay? We are not moving the goalpost. We are crushing the goalpost. Yes, Dana, we're taking clothes. And the key with clothing, according to the CDC, is don't lick it, Dana. Don't lick the clothing. That is the key. We also don't put stuff out right away because of our process and the volume we handle. But, you know, we are absolutely taking clothes. Julie, if you go back in the emails I've sent you, you'll want to run the historical inventory and obligations report. Run it as of July 1st. It's under analysis in Liberty. Is the report to run. That is a great report to run. And one you have run for me many a time. The Peeps inventory, I am not sure of all the Peeps reports in there, Suki. Yes, we're taking clothes inventory, and most people are. And if anybody's really worried about it, Dana, people are quarantining it for a couple of days. In our process, it can be a month or more before we get to something that's dropped off today for clothing. So not an issue. But you know, we're gonna get there. You know, this is how we get there, people. This is how we plan the comeback. Okay, all the lessons I'm giving you of what's happening with the big guys are important lessons. But this lesson is... Russell posted it, Joanne. It is under analysis. Historical inventory and obligations report. Historical inventory and obligations report is the report you want to run in Liberty. And it's a powerful report. Joanne, in your case, you would run it, and for those on Liberty, you'll run that for July 1st. That gives you close of business 6:30. It's a little idiosyncrasy in that report. So if you run it for July 1st, you get it as of 6:30. So very powerful report. But just give a shout out to your software providers. They are there to help you. Okay, they are there to support you. Their team loves this. Okay, I work with all of them. There's not one software company that supplies the resale industry that I have not worked with and do not know people at. Okay, I am friends with all of them. Okay, because it's all about getting you to the other side of this. Okay, it's all about helping you run a stronger business. Okay, I do not want just people filling their businesses with bodies and spending all this money on payroll. I want you to be the most efficient operation you can be. I want you to be the most profitable operation. And yeah, I want you to call me next year and say, oh my God, Neil, I have to pay taxes. I am super stoked. I am excited. I'm doing the happy dance. Okay, because I have to pay taxes. That is where I want to get you. I want to make you taxpayers this year. That's how freaky wild. That's what kind of freaky business I want to make you. That's what I want to do to this freaky virus, as my brother calls it, the freaky virus. I want to have you have to pay taxes because we got your sales where they needed to be. That is what I am talking about. Okay? That is your homework for this weekend. If you don't tune in the rest of the weekend, that is your homework. I will be on this weekend, but shorter, probably. That's my goal anyways, trying to enjoy a little bit of the weekend too. In theory, we have the weekend off. I mean, we have to work tomorrow, but we have Saturday we're closed. We voted for closed on Saturday. It's one of the 4 times a year that we normally close. And I decided, even though 4th of July is on a Saturday, even though days don't matter anymore, and we would probably do some business, it was more important for my team and for us to sit back and enjoy a little bit of the day, even though I will probably spend part of the day doing paperwork. But that's also Hamilton Day, isn't it, Rebecca?
Tomorrow?
Saturday, I thought.
No, it is. Friday, July 3rd is Hamilton. Tomorrow is our Hamilton quote extravaganza instead of doing the Good Morning, Good Night book.
Tomorrow. I love it, Eric. Tomorrow is Hamilton extravaganza. Okay, our buddy, hang on a second, Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote the Good Morning, Good Night book and stars in Hamilton.
He also wrote Hamilton.
Oh, he also wrote Hamilton. Okay, so update here. Okay, they're having the Hamilton. Where is the Hamilton extravaganza happening?
Well, so Hamilton is available for viewing starting at 3 a.m. Eastern on Disney Plus. And tomorrow night, instead of quotes from our Good Morning, Good Night book, we will be doing quotes from Hamilton.
So starting at 3 a.m., just 6 hours and 9 minutes from now, on the East Coast, on Disney Plus. Yeah, 3 a.m., 6 hours, Julie. Disney Hamilton. It will be there.
It is the full stage show production with the original cast.
Full stage show production with the original cast. See, I knew. With the swear words edited out, supposedly. Just 2 of them. Okay, but we will get that. We will take that in. It is a amazing show, and we are looking forward to it. And so that is on our agenda. And so we will be doing Hamilton quotes this weekend instead of the Good Morning, Good Night book. We may work in a passage from the Good Morning, Good Night book because of tradition. Because we are tradition! Ah, Leanne got to see it in New York a few years ago when she wasn't working retail. It's a good thing you got Disney Plus, Leanne. We got to see it in Hartford. We decided, we booked the show when everybody was in school. I think it is when we were fighting for tickets. Is how we got tickets to one of the shows. But and then I found out what it really cost us. I was telling somebody else, oh yeah, this was a really good deal. You know, it was like $50 a ticket. It was great, everything, and yeah, it was a lot more. So, you know, oh no, that was my father's A Fiddler on the Roof fan. But I've told that story, Julie, haven't I? With my father and his Fiddler on the Roof 8-track that we had in the car. But that is part of what we're gonna do this weekend. Yes, it was from Fiddler on the Roof. Yes, my father loved his Broadway shows, and Fiddler was one of his favorites. He liked to sing "If I Were a Rich Man." But yet he didn't know how rich he was. Okay, and the values he shared, and the way he brought community, and the things he did. Okay, made him richer than his bank account, and that was more important. So there you go on that one. How was that? Did I turn that around good? But that is our project. I will be here, hopefully briefer shows over the weekend. I'll be back tomorrow night. So I got bumped for the 4.8 million jobs today. That got me bumped off Fox today. But they booked me 2 days next week, knowing that there can't be news both those days. So we'll see what day I end out. I'll know the day of, and I'll promise to post it when I know that I'm going to be on there. But we do start with the Good Morning, Good Night book. Show off, Julie. The production at the Sydney Opera House. Of course. The Good Morning, Good Night book, folks. This is how we do it. This is how we start the program every night. Okay, you know all the resources, these videos. Go to nerds.org/resalestrong, nerds.org/resalestrong. You know the email address is Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. That is where we go with your questions. Our Good Morning, Good Night book. Good morning. Sidekick your fears. Front kick your distractions. Boom! You go up a belt. Our good night on page 133 requires the glasses. Good night. Sidekick your anxiety. Yes, I'm talking to you people. Front kick your doubts. Yes, I'm talking to you people. Boom! You go up a belt. Look at the graphics there, people. We are Resale Strong. We are 2020 2.0. 2020 2.0. We are going to pay taxes from 2020 because we earned it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even. Whatever the mitzvah, I am there to party and enjoy it with you. We're going to take each of our successes. The first half of 2020 is not defining us. We are one day closer to the end. We are on our way to success. I'll be back here tomorrow night at more 8 Danish. You have your homework assignment for the weekend if you're not going to be back with us because you're partying. Resale Island 2020. The blade. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. But until then, know that you and especially you, even on Resale Island, are not alone running this store. I'll see you tomorrow night, everybody. Have a great night.